Well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, little something there in my throat. Um, Another week has passed. We're 13 days into 2022. Are you still motivated to accomplish all that you said you would? Or are you feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed? Are you afraid that this year might turn into another year of regret? Saying that you will do something and then not doing it? Well, you're not alone. Let's just make sure that you are not running on empty, okay? So, a lot of us choose a word of the year, right? Because we know that words are important. So, have you done that? Have you created a word of the year? Go ahead and share your word of the year in the chat, okay? I picked two words for myself this year. I picked stillness and immersion, both of which I am having a little bit of trouble getting done because, well, I guess that's the point, right? It's the point. These are the things that we are trying to get better at. And so what are your words and what do they mean to you? Go ahead. Oh, hi, Annika. Your word is hola. No, your word is committed. I love that. Committed is a good word. um, but what are the words that you've spoken over yourself and your family and your career and your health and your finances? Are you 100% sure that what you spoke is what you want and you're committed to it? So if you're watching live, let me just say, let me know. And if you're watching it as a replay, put hashtag replay. For those of you that don't know me, maybe this is your first time checking me out. My name is Carol Mendoza, and I am a Christian leadership performance coach. I coach and I train leaders how to live a life by God's design, how to make a faith-based paradigm shift that leads to unstoppable success, quantum leap success, and unstoppable flow. I am not an ordained pastor. I don't have any formal biblical training, and I don't claim to have all the answers, but I know the one who does. And even though I know the one who does, I am going to challenge each and every one of you to do your own discovery of everything that I talk about. Okay? Deal? For years, I blended and I mixed God with programs and ideas like the law of attraction and The Secret. Maybe you're familiar with those. Hi, Deb. Hi, Sabrina. I see you. I got it fixed so I know who's coming on. Well, I was trained in affirmations. I was trained in visualizations. I was trained in the power of positive thinking. I invested my time and my energy into all of this. I was always believing that since they mentioned Bible verses and they talked about God in some of it, that it must be okay. So I created my affirmations. I recorded my affirmations. I listened and I memorized my affirmations. I made vision boards from pictures of things that I wanted. And honestly, I have to say that it works. It does, but it is temporary. Remember that whatever you do by your own strength will take your own strength to keep it, right? See, these programs and these ideas, they actually subtly let you think that you're God. And none of them change you on the inside. They never change what is going on inside of you. Nothing you change on the outside is going to change you on the inside. Only God can do that. You might use these things and you might have a little bit more confidence. You might get a little more positive. You might even experience some peace, maybe a little bit, until what you have is taken away. Like you lose the income, you get sick, or you have an unexpected home repair or a car repair, or someone you love dies, or you experience a tragedy. If you don't believe me, what's an orange full of? I was going to bring an orange in, I forgot it. But what's an orange full of? It's full of juice, right? And if I squeeze the orange, out comes what's inside the juice, right? So what comes out? What comes out of you when you get squeezed? When you're a little bit under pressure, when you get that bill, or you get that little bit of bad news, or when you stub your toe or hit your head, what's the first thing that comes out of your mouth? I know that this has happened to me. I had a situation not too long ago. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but I completely panicked. And I totally lost it, right? The thing that happened totally surprised me, and I was not ready for it. I couldn't think straight. Every negative feeling, every negative thought, every negative idea just started passing through my mind. And I was so lucky that my daughter was there with me. Do you know what I'm talking about when you get in those situations? And then right afterwards, right after it happens, you go, oh gosh, I don't know what happened to me. That's just not like me. That's not my normal, way of handling things, right? But when you're in a situation like that, what happens? You start to feel maybe some doubt, some fear, some worry, some anxiety, right? And then you're looking at what's showing on the outside doesn't change what's on the inside. Because when you got put under pressure, what squeezed out of you was all of those negative feelings. So isn't it true we say things that we don't really mean? Like, okay, here's one. Oh, your baby is so cute. Oh, your baby's so cute. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking only a mother could love that one, right? Or you say things like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll keep you in my prayers. But in your mind, you're like, well, who really does that anyway? Who really writes it down? I don't really even know her name, but okay, So think about that. Or your secret is safe with me, when you really mean to say, well, just tell me all the juicy stuff and I'll only tell a couple of people, right? Or maybe when you're meeting your new boss, right? And you're like, oh, it's very nice to meet you. But in the back of your mind, you're going, this job was supposed to be mine. It's not really nice to meet you, It's not really nice to meet you at all, right? Or, we need to get together for coffee when hell freezes over, or something like that. Like you're really not meaning what you're saying, right? But what about these? These are ones that I hear Christians saying all the time. Like, I am making God a priority. I am putting God first in everything this year. I am giving it to God. I am not going to control it anymore. I am trusting God with this. I believe that God will do it. I have faith. I know that God's got my back. God's got me. I'm walking in faith. I'm blessed and highly favored, and God's my provision, and he has a plan, right? Matthew 12:3 says, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So do you say these things because you hope that it's true, or because you know that it's true, right? Now, seriously, do you truly walk in faith? Do you really believe that God is your provision? I think we say these things and then we suck the truth right back out of it. We empty our tank. I remember my dad when I was little, he would take gas from the truck to fill the lawnmower. And he would siphon the gas out of the truck by using a hose. And he would suck it and he would put the tube or the hose in his mouth and he would suck this gas out. And sometimes it would go in his mouth and he would spit it out on the ground. So it's not recommended to do it that way. But I think we do this, right? We fill ourselves up with the Word of God on a Sunday. We go to church and we fill ourselves up with the Word of God, and then we suck it and we spit it out on the ground. Sometimes it's right in the church parking lot. Like, did you see what so-and-so was wearing? Oh my goodness, she was hanging out. She kind of looked like a hussy. That was so inappropriate. Or then you might say to somebody, I have to get gas on the way home. Sure hope I have enough for a dollar meal at McDonald's, right? So, I mean, we say these things, we do this, but it's not words that we want to speak because they're really empty words, aren't they? We say God's my provision, and then in our next breath, we say, I hate this living paycheck to paycheck. I wish I was out of debt. There's always more month at the end of my money. I work 2 jobs and I still can't make ends meet. I don't know how I'm going to afford it. I'm so broke, I can't even pay attention. We say this, and we are trying to say that God's our provision, but we're kind of just canceling it all out with all of these idle words. We say that we walk in faith, but then we hope that people don't ask us to talk because we're not really good at it. Or something happens at home, one of our appliances breaks and we're like, I have no idea how I'm going to pay for this. Or, I hope I can make it through the winter without having to buy new tires. Or I don't know how I'm going to get through this day. Or life is what it is, right? Or I know the one, just roll with the punches. I'm just rolling with the punches. Like we expect to get punched. Really? I don't know. So as you are thinking about this, as you're thinking about all of these different things, what are you saying? When we say positive, faith-filled things without believing them, we are just speaking empty words. It's just smooth talk to keep the conversation amicable or diplomatic, right? Eventually, it becomes like the boy who cried wolf. When you really mean to say something, it won't have meaning. So be careful. Matthew 12, 36 and 37 tells us that we will have to account for all of our empty words. Yikes. Ephesians 5 and 6 says, don't let yourselves get taken in by religious talk, by religious smooth talk. God gets furious with people who are full of that religious sales talk, but want nothing to do with him. Don't even hang around people like that. But how many of us, myself included, are empty word drug dealers selling poison everywhere we go? So if you're like me, you're hoping that there's a practical solution to all of this, right? Well, there is. So hang in there. Maybe grab a pen and paper and take a couple of notes, because here's the solution. First thing is, I think we have to agree that we have a problem. And that is that we are so numb to what we say and what we hear. We respond automatically without really giving what we're saying any kind of thought, right? We're powered by what I would call the world's autopilot, by all the words that we've learned to say. We've been taught to say, we've been conditioned to say, okay? We don't speak what we want, but we speak what we see in front of us and what we feel. So we're not living in the vision that God has given to us. I know you have a vision. It's not something that maybe you've imagined or that you've ever seen done before from things you've seen, but a real vision, something that is so big that you just can't imagine it coming to pass. So what do you see when you close your eyes? When you close your eyes and you ask God for the vision that he has for your finances, for your relationships, for your health, for your business or your career, what is it? Or are you creating your own vision and then trying to get God to help you accomplish it? I did that for years. I was told to choose from the catalog of the universe. Anything that I wanted, I could have. Just put it on a board and focus on it 3 to 4 times a day. That's kind of a trick to keep you on the hamster wheel of life. And it can turn you into a King Midas, because it's always going to leave you searching for a little bit more, wanting a little bit more. It's temporary, and temporary means for a limited time. And as I said before, it will never change what you are on the inside. Under pressure, you're probably still going to expel some profanity instead of peace. Trust me. See, if you are in his vision, working towards what he has laid out for you, being God's servant, his apprentice, watching what he is doing and asking how you can help him, that's in Romans 12, 1 and 2, not how he can help you. You're never going to really walk in your purpose. And you'll never truly walk in faith. You'll be running on empty. And when you get squeezed or put under pressure, you will expose what's really going on in the inside of you. Your fears, your doubts, your anxieties, they all start oozing out of you with your words. Proverbs 29:18 says, if people can't see what God is doing, they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what he reveals, they are most blessed. In other words, if you aren't letting God lead you, you're tripping over yourself. You basically have 2 left feet. But it isn't enough just to get the vision, okay? Habakkuk 2:2 says that you're to write the vision down. You're to write it out in big block letters so it can be read on the run. This vision message is a witness pointing to what is coming. And if it's slow in coming, just wait. Be patient. It's on the way. It will come right on time. But let's get back to the words that we say, because I think the words are so important, right? The world tells us, see it, say it, and have it. Well, that's false information. And I think we need to clarify that. So let's start at the beginning, okay? Let's start at the beginning with creation. In Genesis, okay, God, it says in Genesis, then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And then it says, and then God said, and it happened. The entire creation story keeps reiterating, then God said, before the creation happened. So God is speaking these things into existence. And what you say and words are important, right? But we are not God. We are not God. And we just can't speak something into existence, okay? We can't. It takes faith and an unwavering belief in what we're saying. So this could be why we actually are having all of the challenges that we're having in our finances, in our professions. Maybe we're struggling with depression or something else mentally, right? Or struggling spiritually or struggling physically. I think that we actually 100% believe what we're saying. Think about it. What did you say this week about your finances? If they aren't all that good, did you say something like, I am just never going to get out of debt? My finances are a mess. I just never have enough. What did you say about your children and your spouse? Did you say something like, I am tired of picking up after you all the time. No one appreciates me around here. We're never going to get the passion back with all the work that we're doing, that we're never seeing each other. Right? What did you say to yourself when you stood on the scale? Did you say, oh gosh, I just can't seem to lose weight. It seems like I just keep gaining. Or look at the wrinkles. You look in the mirror, look at the wrinkles and the gray hairs. It seems like I get a new one every day. Right? What did you say about your business or the people you work with? Think about it, guys. Think about what you've said. No wonder we're not living in overflow. No wonder we're running on empty, right? Because we are actually siphoning the truth out of our lives with our very own words. And it's no wonder that people are leaving the church. And it doesn't surprise me that people are seeking all of these new age ideas for manifesting their desired lives. God's people, us, we aren't actively demonstrating how faith followed by action activates heaven. We're not. Proverbs 18:21 in the Message says, words kill, words give life. They're either poison or they're fruit. You choose. In Genesis 22:5, Abraham, on the way to sacrifice his son Isaac, said to his servants, by faith, believing, he said, stay here with the donkey. The boy and I are going to go over there to worship, but we will be back. We will be back. We will both be back. Now, he didn't know the end of the story like we know the end of the story, right? But in faith, believing it, Abraham said what he believed would happen. And then you have David, right? David is this shepherd boy that kills Goliath, kills this giant. Now, he demonstrated how important words are with faith and belief 3 times in one chapter. And he demonstrates this. In 1 Samuel 17:32, David said, don't lose heart. Don't lose a heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him. Now, he hadn't even seen the size of the giant. So, come on, really? And then he says, right after that, he says, the Lord who rescued me from the paws of the lion and the paws of the bear will rescue me from the hand of the Philistine. And the third time, I love this one. David said, you come to me using sword and javelin and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord, all powerful and almighty, the God of the armies of Israel. You've said some bad things about him. So today, the Lord's going to let me take care of you, going to let me defeat you. I will kill you and I will cut off your head and feed it to the body of the birds and the wild animals. And we're going to do the same thing with all the other Philistines too. And then the world's going to know there's a God in Israel. Wow, that's pretty strong faith. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, really, that's strong. Then you have Joshua who tells the sun to stand still. I mean, wow, really? Stand still, sun. And it does. In Matthew 21, I love this story. And I know you know the story, but I have to read it to you because Jesus got up early in the morning and he was going back to the city. He was really, really hungry. And he saw this fig tree and he went over to it to get a fig from it because he wanted to get a bite to eat. But there were no figs on the tree. And Jesus got a little mad. And he said to the tree, "You're never going to produce fruit again." And the tree just withered up and died. So the disciples who were with him, they said, Master, they said, how did the fig tree just dry up and die so quickly? And Jesus answered him. And this is where we really need to listen. This is it right here. The truth is, if you have faith and no doubts, you will be able to do the same as I did to this tree. And you'll be able to actually do more. You will be able to say with your words to this mountain, "Go, mountain, fall into the sea." And if you have faith, it will happen. If you believe, you'll get anything you ask for in prayer. But be careful because James 1:6 says, when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave in the sea, blowing and tossing by the wind. Is this making sense? I'm hoping that this is making sense to you guys. And let me add one other thought to this, okay? Because this is something that I saw today as well. All of the leaders who experienced miracles, they didn't share their insecurities and their doubts and their worries. They didn't share any of that with any human person. They only shared it with God. Why? You know, when Moses was like being asked to go talk to Pharaoh and he got all worried because he didn't know how he was going to speak, right? He told God, "I don't know. I just don't think that I'm the right person." Why did they go to God? I think this is important. We have to look at this because God is the only one that can come right back with a statement or a comment, right? That will get you back in alignment. Think about it like this. Something happens, you get worried, you're kind of nervous about it, and you just can't sleep. So you tell your spouse. Now, your spouse is worried and can't sleep. No solution there. Just increased the problem and the stress, right? So what if instead you're feeling a little worried, you're feeling a little scared, and you go to God and you say, "God, I'm feeling a little worried, feeling a little scared." And you look it up in scripture because that's how God speaks to you, right? You go to a topical index like, I don't know, I have a couple of them that I go to, and you say, "Okay, God, what do I do here?" And God says, "Oh, well, don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. I got you. Don't panic. I am with you. I'm going to give you some strength. All the strength that you need. I will help you. I will hold you steady. I will keep a firm grip on you." And you feel peace. By the way, that's Isaiah 41:10, paraphrased by yours truly. But I think that this is what we need to do. If we go to him first, he's going to just cancel it out and tell us what we need to be thinking. So, is this message causing you to consider changing your word of the year? Is it making you think possibly that you might need to take your words a bit more seriously? Will you focus on His vision for your life instead of trying to create something from your own desires? Will you write it down and join God in what He is doing? I am bold. I am courageous. I am getting stronger in my faith, stronger in my belief, and trusting God more with every breath I take. By faith, I am a powerful producer who produces wealth in all areas. I'm a woman of my word, and I do what I say I will do. I believe what God says, because if He said it, then it's true. My God can do anything, more than I could ever think or imagine on my own. Whatever I have, wherever I am, I can make it through anything in the one who made me who I am. There's a really great song by Bethel Music and Dante Bowie. And there's like a bridge or a chorus in there. And I'm going to read these words to you. And I want you to repeat after me. Now, I can't hear you, but you can put them in the chat and you can say them out loud. Ready? When I lift my voice and shout. When I lift my voice and shout, every wall comes crashing down. Every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority Jesus has given me. When I open up my mouth, miracles start breaking out. Miracles start breaking out. I have the authority Jesus has given me. I love that song. It's Champion by Bethel Music and Dante Bowie. I pray that tonight's message has spoken to you and that God's words through me have given you a different perspective. Let's activate our faith in heaven. We have the authority. If you want a free 30 minutes to talk about this topic or any other topic, please reach out to me and schedule a free session. God does the how, and you do the do. Make it a great night. See you soon.